What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about February 26th, Thursday NBA slate. I'm very excited. We have 10 games. Let's go through them fast and quick. The first game is Hornets and Pacers. I'm picking the Hornets to win. The Hornets are the better team this season. The Hornets will have Khan playing, Miles Bridges playing, LaMelo playing. On the other hand, the Pacers, Zubac is still missing. Neesmith is still out. And then also Toppings and Holly, of course, they're going to be still out. But Siakam is questionable to return. Whether he plays or not, I think the way that the Hornets are playing, their momentum, I think they will beat the Pacers. The Hornets are way better defensively, but they allow 6 points less per game. Offensively, they're about the same. No, the Hornets are better by 4 points. That's a big key right there. I'm going to pick the Hornets to win and have an easy win as well at the Pacers Stadium. Sorry right there. I gotta drink some water today. The next game is the Heat versus the 76ers. Now, this is gonna be one of those controversial picks. I'm gonna pick the plus with the Heat. The reason why is because I like the way the Heat's been playing. I like the way Bam's been playing. They're gonna have Kelly Ware. They're gonna have Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Tyler Hero. The thing about Bam and his game style is very early 2000s. He's going to get under the rim. If he can't make it, he'll just pass it to his shooters. And his shooters are pretty consistent. And I'm going to pick the Heat to cover that spread. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I won't be surprised if they win. On the other hand, 76ers will have everyone but Paul George, and they've already faced each other once where the Heat beat the 76ers at their own stadium, the 76ers stadium, by 10 points. I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if the Heat beat the 76ers, but my pick would be the plus with the Heats. The next game we're going to be talking about is the Hawks versus the Wizards. Now, I've been saying this over and over. The Hawks are one of the most athletic teams in the league. Now, Jalen Johnson is questionable, but with or without him, the fact that Alexandre Sarr is not playing, of course, AD and Trae Young is still not there, I'm going to pick the Hawks to win at home. Easily, comfortably, no question. Kuminga will be available. Buddy Hield will be available. And also, we have to know that Alexander Walker is going to be playing as well. He's a very phenomenal player. Dyson Daniel, who is really great at getting those steals and forcing turnovers. I really like the Hawks to win at home. The next game is the Spurs and the Nets. Now, the Spurs and the Nets did face each other already, and the Spurs only won by like 11 points. Very, very disappointing. Now the Spurs will travel to the Nets. I get it. People, research and do all of that. But I don't think there's much researching needed or data needed. The Spurs are much better. They're 9-1 last 10. Everyone is available. The Nets have everyone available. The Spurs are much better. I am picking the Spurs to cover the spread. Now the next game is the Rockets versus the Magic. Now this is where it gets interesting again. Now, the Magic has been playing without Franz Wagner, and currently he's ruled out again. But Amen Thompson will not be playing for the Rockets this game, and that does make a difference. But the fact that, the Rockets have KD and Sengun, I don't think it'll make that big of a difference. I think this game will be a close game, but I'm going to pick the Rockets to win to be safe. I'm not picking any spread. You can do what you want with that. But I think the Rockets will win because the longer the game goes, people are going to get tired. But people like KD and Sengun, they're going to make plays that the Magic will not be able to read. I mean, the Magic is phenomenal at home. I've been saying it. The Magic are a good team at home. But this year, they're not that Magic from last year. And I think the Rockets just have a better roster overall, a better bench as well. So I'm going to pick the Rockets to win. The next game is the Blazers and the Bulls. The Bulls have been horrible. They're 0-10. The Blazers are 5-5. Denny is questionable, and Simmons is questionable for the Bulls. Now, this is going to be a crazy pick, but I'm taking the money line on the Bulls at home. They're due for a win, and I don't like to be that guy that says they're due. But they're actually due for a win. If they're going to win, they need to win this game right here against the Blazers. Not because the Blazers are bad, but because the Blazers aren't like the other teams that the Bulls have been facing, such as, the Hornets, the Knicks, the Pistons, the Raptors, the Celtics. Bulls aren't going to beat those teams. But the Blazers, it's possible, and the Bulls will be home. I see this, as a good spot for the Bulls to get their first win in their last 10. The next game is the Mavs and the Kings. Cooper Flag is questionable right now. But on the other hand, the Kings are still without DeAndre Hunter, Zach LaVine, Sabonis. And when we look at the record, this tells me who I'm going to pick. The Kings are 4-26 away. So you're telling me that out of 30 games, you've only won 4 away games. I am picking Mavs at home, no question. Now, they're both not doing well right now. The Mavs are 2-8, the Kings are 1-9. But even though they're both not doing well, I'm going to pick the team that does better at a certain court. And the Mavs are 14-16 at home, which is not bad. Now, they do both share 1-1 right now, one win each this season, but the Mavs are better defensively and offensively. Offensively, the Mavs are scoring 4 points more per game. Defensively, the Mavs are allowing 4 points less per game. So I'm picking the Mavs to win at home. Now, the next game that we're going to be talking about is the Pelicans and the Jazz. Now, on a normal day, if everyone's active, you know my pick. I'm going to pick the Jazz. I love Jaren Jackson. I like Keontae George, Laurie. But the problem right now is that Utah Jazz is without the two centers, and they are Nurkic and Walker Kessler. That's a problem right there. The Pelicans are going to have Zion Williamson, Derek Queen, Fears, Sadiq Bey. Now, Trey Murphy is questionable, and Missy is questionable. If they play, it's over. Jazz is going to get swept out of their home floor. Now, I am picking the Pelicans. That doesn't mean I don't like the Jazz, all right? Just because this game doesn't have Jaren Jackson, I have to pick the Pelicans. Now, the Pelicans are 5-5 last 10. The Jazz are 3-7. And when we look at defensive-wise, too, the Pelicans are better. They allow 5 points less per game. I'm picking the Pelicans to win this game. The next game is my Lakers versus the Suns. The Suns are going to be without Devin Booker and Dillon Brooks, according to ESPN right now. Now, the Lakers will have everyone besides Jackson Hayes. And guys, I'm picking the Lakers to win at the Suns Stadium. They've played against each other 3 times this season, and the Suns have won two of them, and the Lakers have only won once. However, without Brooks and without Booker, this team will be missing a lot of offensive power. Now, out of nowhere, can Grayson Allen score 8 threes and win? Of course, but I don't see that happening. I trust Luka, LeBron, AR, and AN. I'm going to pick the Lakers to win the away game at the Suns Stadium. Last and foremost, it's the Timberwolves versus Clippers. Now, they have gone against each other twice this season, and it's 1-1. But we have to remember that Harden and Zubac is not with the Clippers anymore. And currently, Collins is questionable and Garland is questionable. The reason why the Clippers are doing what they're doing right now is because of because of Mathurin. Woo. I don't see them doing that against the Wolves. Anthony Edwards dropped 30. Randall dropped 20. Naz Reid drops 15. Gobert gets a little 10-piece. 10 points, 10 rebounds. I see the Wolves beating the Clippers. The Clippers need to be exposed. The world needs to know that the Clippers are no longer good without Harden and Zubac. I'm tired of this Mathurin dude from Pacers going crazy every night. Let's look at his stats. 21-9-5, 26-7-2, 38-5-4. Whew, that is crazy. Guys, I'm picking the Timberwolves. They should be the better team this season. Now, offensively, the Timberwolves score 7 points per game more already than the Clippers. Now, that 112 points per game that the Clippers have, a lot of it has to do with Harden and Zubac, all right? So they might be at like 108 points per game. Offensive-wise, Timberwolves are much better. Defensively, they're about the same. The Clippers have a little bit of advantage, but also that defense stats have Zubac and Harden's footprints all over it, okay? I'm picking the Timberwolves to win. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and comment down your thoughts below, all right?